pronounced, defined, used in lexical dispatch.
Cognitive psychology. Cognitive psychology is the scientific study of internal mental processes, including how people think, learn, remember, and solve problems. A researcher in cognitive psychology might study how students use different memorization techniques to prepare for exams. Classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is a type of learning where a neutral thing, like a sound, becomes associated with a meaningful event, causing it to eventually trigger the same response on its own. For example, if a dog repeatedly hears a bell right before it is fed, it will learn to salivate at the sound of the bell alone, which is a classic case of classical conditioning. Scholarly article. A scholarly article is a formal piece of writing written by experts for other experts, presenting original research or analysis on a specific topic, and is usually reviewed by other scholars before publication. For her science project, she found a scholarly article in a medical journal that provided strong evidence for her hypothesis. Cultural relativism. Cultural relativism is the principle that a person's beliefs and behaviors should be understood based on that person's own culture, rather than be judged through the lens of another culture. For example, instead of dismissing another society's cuisine as strange, cultural relativism encourages understanding how it developed from their available resources and traditions. Defense mechanisms. Defense mechanisms are unconscious psychological strategies people use to protect themselves from anxiety, guilt, or threatening thoughts. For example, after failing an exam, a student might use the defense mechanism of rationalization by blaming the teacher rather than admitting they didn't study enough. Peer-reviewed journal. A peer-reviewed journal is a publication where experts in a field evaluate and approve articles before they are published to ensure they are accurate and high quality. Before citing a study in her research paper, she made sure it came from a reputable peer-reviewed journal. Annoying complications. Annoying complications are unexpected problems or difficulties that make a simple task more frustrating and complex. Just as we were about to close the deal, several annoying complications with the paperwork caused a long delay. Amatory effusions. Amatory effusions are the passionate, often exaggerated outpourings of romantic love or desire. The love letters he wrote were filled with amatory effusions, proclaiming his eternal devotion on every page. Gross Domestic Product, GDP. Gross Domestic Product, GDP, is the total monetary value of all finished goods and services produced within a country's borders in a specific time period. A rising GDP often signals a growing economy as more goods and services are being produced and consumed. Judicial review. Judicial review is the power of a court to examine and decide if a law or government action violates the rules set forth in a constitution. Through judicial review, the Supreme Court can strike down a law passed by Congress if it is found to be unconstitutional.